Now, Wicked, you are not familiar with Yuri Bezmenov
I
and
am not.
this guy. I'll tell you what, Mitsu, why don't you give her just a brief rundown of who Yuri Bezmenov was?
Oh, I believe he was ex-KGB. I know he at least worked for the former Soviet Union government, and he fled a long time ago in the 80s to the United States, where he basically tried to put out a series of, he did interviews. I don't know if he wrote a book. I think he might have. And his major warning was explaining and breaking down Soviet and communist propaganda from A to Z on how to properly demoralize an entire population, because you can't beat the United States if you try and fight us. It's just never going to happen. Never, ever. So the only way we're going to lose is if we defeat ourselves. And the Soviet Union wasn't that stupid. They knew it too. So he broke down the entire list of the Soviet playbook on how to actually demoralize the American people.
And it, to a T at this point, Wicked, has been pretty accurate at this point. And I'd like to introduce you to Exhibit 17,572 right here. Take a look at this lady.
Ideological subversion is the...
By the way, this is Yuri Bezmenov speaking over this.
Ideological subversion is the process. You can see it with your own eyes. It's a great brainwashing process which goes very slow, and it's divided in 4 basic stages. The first one being demoralization. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. Why that many years? Because this is the minimum number of years which requires to educate one generation of students in the country of your enemy, exposed to the ideology of the enemy. In other words, Marxism-Leninism ideology is being pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students without being challenged or counterbalanced by the basic values of Americanism, American patriotism. The result you can see. Most of the people who graduated in the 60s, dropouts or half-baked intellectuals, are now occupying the positions of power in the government, civil service, business, mass media, educational system. You are stuck with them. You cannot get rid of them. They are contaminated. They are programmed to think and react to certain stimuli in a certain pattern. You cannot change their mind, even if you expose them to authentic information, even if you prove that white is white and black is black. You still cannot change the basic perception and the logic of behavior.
Wow.
Your first time hearing that, Wicked.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, to a T, that is what has gone on slowly. Probably started before I could even think about it, but I know a big point where that really became heavy over in the US was the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's scary.
Yeah. Chilling, huh?
Yes.
And he talked about...
I went to school in Jersey. I grew up very conservative because I had the blessings of a father who, when we would go on long road trips, I'd listen to Rush, I'd listen to Sean, I'd listen to Mark Levin. I listened to a ton of conservative voices and viewpoints. And I can't tell you, I was the only one. I was the only kid in a sea of liberals on liberals on liberals. The smartest kids in my gifted and talented classes would constantly be talking about the voluntary human extinction movement. 7th grade. They're talking about how they want to off themselves because they're so worried about the climate. How do you think they grew up? What do you think happened to them? Exactly what you think. It's real. It really happened. Beat for beat.